The mics are on, we're still getting used to our programming, and this is episode 11 of Our Disney Opinions. My name is Jason, I am one of your hosts, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host in life. Her name is Julie, and she sounds just like this.
Welcome back.
Yay, we are back.
We are back.
We went on vacation.
We did.
Which is the subject of today's show, so that's good. We're going to kind of take a look at all the things that we did and all the things that we learned and new strategies that we tried when we visited Walt Disney World for a few days in June.
And as a reminder, we are travel planners with Goofy Getaways. We can help you decide when to go, where to stay, and how to fit it all into your budget. Don't like waking up before the sun to make dining reservations? Don't worry, we do. And we've got that part covered for you. Is Disney Genie Plus right for your group? We can help you answer that question and give you a crash course in how to use it to cut down your wait times. Plus, we've spent hundreds of hours in the parks, so we're filled with opinions, tips, and tricks to help you maximize every minute of your magical Disney vacation. Best of all, these services are totally free when you book a trip with us. You can reach out to us via email, jason@goofygetaways.com, to get started with a no-obligation quote.
So I was trying to figure out the largest number that I could possibly say, because I felt like it was hundreds of days, but I wasn't totally sure. But after all these years, I'm sure we've spent hundreds of days in the parks. And if I count my time as a cast member, I definitely have.
Well, you definitely have. And you went more as a kid than I did, too.
Yeah. So I wanted it to sound impressive, but I didn't want to tell a lie.
Oh, we're definitely impressive.
I went with hundreds of hours. Hundreds of hours.
Hundreds of hours.
Many hundreds of hours.
Okay.
Maybe not many hundreds of days.
I mean, who's counting when you're having so much fun?
That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Doesn't matter. It's quality over quantity.
Way to be impressive.
Yeah. So you want to do 3 things?
Sure. Let's do 3 things. You ready for mine?
I am.
All right. 3 things that you would say to an adult who thinks that Disney is just for kids and they don't want to go.
Oh, boy.
Ready, go.
Ready, go. I would talk about the food options. I love to eat at Disney World, and that has nothing to do with my kids. I think there's lots of I love all the different food options from all, different cultures, different cuisines, things like that. Anything that you want to try, you can find at Disney. So that's one. I think there are some very nice higher end resorts where you can just go and relax, and you can just go and play golf and, visit the spa and have a relaxing vacation. And then, maybe go out to one of these parks or go out to one of these restaurants and add that into, the relaxing side of it. So those are 2. And then, it's okay as an adult to cut loose and act like a little kid and remember, movies that you saw in your youth and, connect with that again. And we spend a lot of time being really serious, and it's okay to not be so serious all the time and go have a vacation where you get to act like a kid for a little bit. So those are my 3.
Good job.
Thank you.
I like that. Okay, so in answering that question for myself, I agree with you. Food was at the top of my list.
Yeah.
It's, why you're my person.
Hey, it's what we're here for.
Yay, it's the food. So many food options, and I just go back to always thinking about just wandering around World Showcase at Epcot and eating all kinds of delicious foods.
Yeah, I was just going back through some old pictures and saw our pictures from Tokyo dining. And
that was so fun.
I know. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, that was 5 or 6 years ago now, and it feels like it was just yesterday. Because there are so many different places to try that it's always like, oh, we just tried Tokyo dining. No, we tried it half a decade ago.
Yeah.
And it was great.
It was fun. I'd go back. I enjoyed looking at the pictures that you posted earlier. Was it this week or last week? I'm losing track. But you posted pictures of last year's Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fun to look back and go, oh, yeah, that was really great, too. And, oh, we're not there this year. So anyway, Food, top of the list. Yes, food.
Especially, and like you said, Food and Wine just kicked off. It runs through mid-November. And, what does that do? Double, triple the amount of food options at Epcot? There's just so much
I don't know
to choose
a number,
from. So you want to take an adults-only weekend, you head down, you stay at Swan and Dolphin, and you wander over to Epcot 2 or 3 nights of your trip and eat and drink your way around the world, and you've had quite a great weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt your
No,
three
that's
things.
fine. No,
You only get one thing, so I want to talk.
I mean, it's food. It's really the most important thing. My number two was also the chance to just go and be kid-like and really just let go a little bit and remember things about your childhood, your favorite characters, or maybe you have a new favorite character, and just kind of let loose. And I feel like you can enjoy things as much as you allow yourself to enjoy them. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I want to expand on that
You're
too,
gonna
because
interrupt all of mine. Okay, go ahead. It's fine.
well, I was looking at a Facebook post from one of our clients who's going to be heading down in September, and she was, asking friends and family for Disney favorites and Disney tips and ideas and things that they like to do. And this person's mom weighed in and said, I always liked all the parades, and so did you. And I just thought that was really cool to think about,
yeah.
your mom telling you, hey, don't forget the parades, because when you were as big as your kids are now, that's what you liked. And I just think that's really a special thing, and I really liked that post.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
shout
that kind
out
of
for
stuff.
nostalgia. I love it. So my third thing is kind of related to that, really, but there's something very unique about being at Walt Disney World, where the cast members are super focused on making sure that you are having a magical day, and will go out of their way to make things work for you, work better for you. There's just something so not real world about that I just find that so refreshing. It's so nice to just kind of step out of the world of adulting for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Just proof
let
that
them take care of you.
it's okay to be nice.
Right. Well, yeah. Right. And I think about too, we've watched different documentaries on the making of Walt Disney World and Walt's vision, and the making of Disneyland and Walt's vision, and how he wanted it to be a place where adults went to also play.
Yeah, to play alongside their kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just that chance to let go, be a kid.
Excellent.
Your turn.
Okay, my three things are much simpler, I think. Well, not even simpler. I just want to know your three favorite roller coasters on Disney property.
Oh.
Or roller coasters and thrill rides, we'll go with. Okay.
So, preface this by reminding people, I am not a roller coaster person. So, if I like a roller coaster, it means something a little different than maybe most people like a roller coaster. Okay. 3 favorite roller coasters or thrill rides. Okay. I think Big Thunder Mountain just tops the list as a super fun family roller coaster where we just all laugh like crazy and have a great time on it. It's not terrifying. It's not the most thrilling, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That we can just do that one over and over again. So that tops my list. I would put Rock and Roller Coaster on my list, as you know. So specifically, I have very specific requirements about roller coasters. I'm okay with going fast to a point, and I'm okay with going upside down within reason. Don't get crazy.
Like partially upside down?
I mean, I'm not going to go on something that goes upside down 9 times. Thinking about our previous weekend, not Disney related, but I like Rock and Roller Coaster. It doesn't have any big drops, which is that's my big no on roller coasters. I hate those big drops, but that one is super fun because of the launch and the fact that it does go upside down. It's very thrilling for me. It's kind of the top of my thrilling list.
It confuses your son very much. Mom,
I mean,
how
it
do you like
confuses me
Rock and
too.
Roller Coaster, but you don't like X?
I mean, you should be in my brain. It's not great. It's a very confusing time. And so I think my third one, you said roller coaster or thrill ride.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put Rise of the Resistance on my list because holy cow, that's just amazing. And I'm still not over it, riding it for the second time this past summer, and I'm just still amazed by so many things.
Yeah.
about that ride. So
I'm not sure my brain counts that as a thrill ride, which is weird because like it's not fast,
it's
but
suspenseful.
it's yes. I think the story is thrilling. I think the story is suspenseful. I just don't want to scare people who've never been on it. Like,
That's fine.
you know,
I don't want to scare people either, but I am going to say, like, I give myself bravery points for going on it a second time, knowing that there is a little bit of a drop.
yeah.
And
You do go down a little bit because you go up a little bit.
exactly. So for me, that's a thrill ride. So people can take that as they will.
Fair enough.
With my disclaimer that I am not a roller coaster person. So that is very thrilling for me.
Excellent. All right. I love it.
Okay, you go.
Yes. I think my first one will be Tower of Terror. And I obviously, the standard disclaimer applies. I'm super biased because I used to be a bellhop there and, rode it every day for 3 or 4 months. And it's thrill ride by itself is thrilling and awesome. And then you add in all of the amazing effects and the story and the theming. And it's really one of the top tier rides for me at Disney World.
I've heard that it's amazing.
Yes.
I've never been on it.
You've seen the library and you've seen the boiler room and you've seen the inside of the car and you've seen the inside of the car with the lap bar down.
And I've seen the
And then
chicken
right back
elevator.
up. Yep. Oh, goodness. Yeah, memories.
And you married me anyway.
And I
so,
married you anyways. Yep.
You know.
So anyway, my second one. I'm trying to decide. I think on this trip, I really, really enjoyed Slinky Dog a lot. And I think it's because so many more people in our group liked Slinky Dog this time.
That's a good point. I almost put Slinky Dog on my list. It's probably fourth
Yeah.
on my list because I don't totally trust that I'm going to love it next time. Also, in the vein of I'm not a roller coaster person. The first time I rode Slinky Dog, lost my voice, screaming my head off on
Yes,
it.
that does happen. It does tend to happen.
Didn't lose it this time because I'd already kind of lost it on
Right. Right, yeah.
things.
Yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, I love that Slinky talks to you. I think the layout is excellent. I love all the little bunny hops at the end. I think it's just launched fast enough that it keeps it on the exciting end of a family roller coaster, and I think that's important for the kind of parks, for Disney World itself. You're not building a Velocicoaster like down the road at Universal. They've got a different thrill ride plan, and they cater to a slightly different audience. And so I think Slinky really fits the Disney profile.
It does,
really
and
well.
we noticed that it did seem like they had slowed it down a bit. Since
Yeah,
the
we
last time
were
there.
really paying attention to that second launch, and it appears to be tuned in such a way that train then crawls over that what is essentially the biggest hill on the ride, but you don't take it with the floating airtime feeling that you used to get. You take it at a crawl so that you make a nice leisurely run through the rest of the course, and my hand motions that no one can see
They're
really
going to translate really well.
yeah, they really you'd get the point, So
I liked it much better
thanks.
this time.
Yes, I did too, and I think our daughter did as well. Everybody came off it feeling very brave and very accomplished because now Slinky Dog is no thing, and everybody had a really good time. And then I was blown away by Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It is, I don't know if anybody out there who has followed our Instagram or Facebook channels, you will have seen that we referred to it as chaotic. It is very much that. The layout is not super complex. It's a lot of turns and quick little dives. And the pictures that I've seen of the inside as they were working on it are very much a spaghetti bowl like Rock and Roller Coaster was. But adding the motion of the Omnimover kind of motion of Haunted Mansion, where they can turn the car where they want it to go, so you're pointing at what they want it to point at, makes those simple track movement, the track layout, gives that an extra dimension that really makes it chaotic and very, very much like like you would imagine traveling through spaces where you don't necessarily know where you're pointing or where you're coming out. And that's the whole story of the ride. Add in the launch and all the fantastic screen elements, and it's just super fun. And as long as you ride, if you're more of a coaster novice, coaster chicken, like my co-host, you got to ride that thing towards the front.
Yes.
Because in the front, your ride is not nearly as intense as it is in the back. So pro tip there. You can't see anything anyways, so it's not like you're looking at how terrifying anything is from the front. You're just feeling like you're going a little slower. And so
that's very helpful.
But yeah, and again, as we, shared in one of our Instagram reels, officially, our recommendation is to ride in row 9 if you want the most exciting ride, because that does give you a front row seat for the screens and those elements at the beginning of the launch. And then when you get to the top of the launched hill, you spin around and you are now in the back for the lovely whip effects of being in the back seat of a roller coaster.
Which is great if that's what you want.
Which is great if that's what you want.
Not great if that's not what you want. That is how
if you're at all timid, look for row 2 or 3. Those are going to be your sweet spots for that ride.
All right, good list.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, as we've already kind of transitioned into our recent trip, we were down at Walt Disney World around Father's Day for 3 days in the parks. We went to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Studios, bypassing Animal Kingdom this year because the other parks had newer things that we hadn't done yet, and that was kind of the theme of the trip, was to do things that we hadn't done lately or hadn't done in a while, and
or
ever. Yeah. And so that kind of started with where we chose to stay. Last summer we had a really awesome stay at Yacht and Beach Club, and we were, that was one kind of vacation for us. And we get a lot of questions from clients about, where should they stay, but they also want to spend as little money they want it to be as cheap as possible. And I get that. And so we very specifically chose All-Star Movies as our destination resort to be able to give people an idea of what that was like, as it is typically one of the lowest, if not the lowest, priced resorts on property, along with All-Star Sports is also typically a little bit less than All-Star Movies, but we liked the updated rooms at All-Star Movies, so we wanted to check that out.
Yeah.
So what were your impressions of movies? I know that's one of your favorites from the past, so...
Yeah, so the updated rooms were really nice. It was a tight fit with 4 of us. I think now that our kids are more like adult size people, it felt like a tight fit. But for what it was, for what we paid, and for the amount of time that we planned to spend in the room, which was almost none, it worked really well. And those fold down table beds, they fold right up easily too, so then you get a little bit more space if you're in the room to do anything or hang out.
Yeah.
So I thought the updates were nice. I do love the theming. All the larger than life scenery. We were in the Dalmatians area, so every single time we walked up or down those fire hydrant staircases, I did chuckle a little bit because it was just so cute.
You come around a corner and there's a 30-foot Pongo, I think is.
I think that's really fun. So I liked that. We didn't spend a ton of time at the pool. The pool was a little cold for us, and we just didn't have the time for it this trip. But it was fun to look at. It's a cute pool with the Fantasia theming.
Yep. It's got a little fountain coming out from the rock that Mickey stands on, so there is that water feature. The one thing that you do miss out on at the value resorts is you don't get a water slide.
Right.
Or any larger pool features like you do at the moderates and deluxes.
Right, exactly.
But like you said, we didn't spend a lot of time in the pool, contrasted to last summer at Yacht and Beach Club, where we'd finish our day in the parks at 9 or 10 o'clock and then be in the pool till they kicked us out every night, and fun. Then sleep for 15 minutes and wake up for the next morning.
Oh, that was a fun trip too.
Yes.
So I liked it. It seemed like we didn't ever make it to any of the evening activities by the pool, but it looked like they had a good list of activities going on too, just like all the others. So I thought that was nice. My biggest complaint about staying there was the bus access being your only option for transportation unless you're going to take a taxi or an Uber or something. It was just frustrating at the end of a long night to be one of the last bus stops and have the farthest to walk to get to your bus, and then maybe you have your own bus to your own resort. Maybe we're sharing one bus for all 3 all-star resorts.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
To our last night which was at Magic Kingdom, we got out to the bus stops, and at that point they were running a single bus that stopped at all 3 all-stars, and we were the third. Well, our
Don't
hotel
remember.
was.
I think I was asleep standing
No,
up.
our hotel was technically the third, but we were in a room position where it was equidistant to walk to the movies bus stop, but also the music bus stop was the same distance of walking. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of a blessing. You could get out to the buses and go, well, music got here before movies, so we'll take music and walk the extra, 10 feet or whatever it was. So that helped.
That did help
a little bit. But and I think that's one of the chief complaints against the values is that the buses tend to be crowded because they're some of the biggest resorts on property, and they, big resort, lots of people, one set of bus stops.
Yeah.
You're going to end up waiting.
Yeah.
And, kind of the price you pay.
For sure. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it is. So, but I think it had been a while since we had a stay like that. And I don't know, maybe I'd forgotten that was a thing. So that's my only complaint really about the whole experience. Otherwise, still love the resort. Still think it's adorable. So it was fun.
Yeah. I echo a lot of that. I did like the room updates a lot. 2 queen beds. One, as Julie mentioned, is a Murphy bed that folds up into the wall. So if you need that extra space in the morning or to let kids, run around in whatever limited space there is, then that's available to you. It does fold. It doesn't fold all the way up into the wall. It folds into a little table, so you have somewhere to eat breakfast, which is excellent. They've got the vinyl laminate flooring in there, so no more carpet. And one of the things that I did like at the yacht club is actually part of this renovation as well, in that the sink and vanity area of the bathroom is separated from the toilet and shower area of the bathroom. So technically 2 people can be getting dressed or ready to go in the morning at once, which is a great
that was very
time
helpful.
saver. We had, we did a lot of 2 people shower at night and then 2 people get ready in the morning to kind of get us split and out the door on time. Because one of the things, kind of transitioning here, one of the things that we did take advantage of from staying on property is that we get 30 minutes of early entry at all theme parks every day just for staying on property.
Holy cow, was that helpful?
That
was awesome.
that saved us a ton of time. And
I didn't expect it to be that much of a, I didn't expect it to be that helpful. In my head when we were first going, I was like, oh, it's 30 minutes. It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But then to get there that far ahead and be already on a ride, that was cool.
And so, to get into a little of the technical side to that, most of the parks opened at 8:30, which meant our early entry started 8. And in all cases that we ran into, they started letting folks through the gates for the early entry around 7:40 to 7:50. So 10 to 20 minutes before the early entry actually started. And so that gives you a time to get into the park, maybe run to the restroom, and then head over to that first attraction that you want to hit, where there was a line, but the line was only there because they were holding it until the early entry time started. So, for example, on our Studios Day, we headed straight to Toy Story Mania.
No, we didn't. First, we tried to head to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which I think was a good learning experience for us.
Because, you're exactly right. We did head to Mickey and Minnie. They said they were in. We asked if the line was. We asked something about the line, and the cast member said, "No, we're currently in a hold." Mm-hmm. And what that says to me is you're not operating for a mechanical reason, And so
Right.
you're in a hold while you're 101 as the terminology goes. That is not what they meant, even though that's what
Right.
they said. And what I interpreted what they meant was we're holding the line until early entry actually starts at 8. So, go get in this 5-minute line for Mickey and Minnie. And we didn't. We went to Toy Story Mania and waited in a 5-minute line for Toy Story Mania, which was great.
Which was totally fine. Not complaining at all.
No,
I just
no.
thought that
So
was
it got our day off to a great start. By the time the park opened, we had been on Toy Story Mania and mobile ordered our breakfast and gotten onto Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run over in Galaxy's Edge. And so, we've waited a total of 15 to 20 minutes for 2 fairly significant attractions. And that put us ahead of the game in a lot of ways for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it really did.
And similar success at the other parks. We didn't make it quite as early as we wanted to the other 2, but we still got in during early entry time and picked off Test Track with a less than 20-minute wait, and picked off Haunted Mansion with 8 minutes. So the savings there. You may spend a little more to stay on property, but now you're talking about the value of your time.
Right.
I think. So you're getting this added value every day. And so we stayed there for 3 days and we got 90 minutes of extra park time.
Right. Well,
that
I think
other
about
folks don't get.
families with young kids, when are your young kids really at their best? Early in the morning, first thing. So if you can get there early, get some rides done, kids are happy, parents are happy, you've already done a whole bunch of things well before everybody's ready to melt down and have a nap.
Absolutely.
Yay for early entry.
Yes.
Big fan.
Big fan of early entry. Definitely worth getting up for.
Yeah.
And we're big take a break in the middle of the day people anyway
Yeah.
to get that rest. So
And
we
we
don't mind
changed
getting
it
up a
up.
little early. Yeah. We don't mind getting up a little early because we know we're going to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And typically in the past, we have used our breaks to go back to the hotel, take a little swim. And this year we changed it up because we always want to do sit-down meals, but find that doing sit-down meals at dinner time tend to really wreck the flow of the evening, which is a time that we love being at the parks.
Yeah. Well, and if you're trying to catch any of the shows or anything
Yeah.
at the end of the night, it really does crunch your time.
Yeah. So
Squeeze in a sit-down meal.
Yeah. So this trip we did all of our sit-downs at lunchtime, and we got to check out Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary. We got to check out Via Napoli at Epcot, and finally, we'd been trying to do this one for quite a while. We finally got to Sanaa at Animal Kingdom Lodge. All fantastic meals, and we'll go into more of a review mode in later episodes and see if we can get some special travel consultant guests to come talk about those as well. But did you have a favorite out of those 3? Because I know what I wanted my favorite to be going in, and I think it was my least favorite.
Oh, interesting.
In the end.
Okay, I don't know what you're going to say. I think my favorite might have been Via Napoli. I think at first I was a little bit sticker shocked by the price of the pizza that we were getting, and then I saw the pizza that they brought out, and it easily fed our entire crew, which is saying a lot with a 12-year-old and 14-year-old. And it was good, it was fun, and it was kind of in line with what we would normally spend on a lunch anyway.
Well, I think that's the big thing. You know, if I say to you right now, we're going to spend $55 on one pizza, but then you realize, like you said, that yes, that giant pizza fed our family of 4, and then you take a $55 pizza and you divide it by 4 people, and now you're at $12.50ish. That math isn't right. Somebody will correct me. You're at about $12 to $15 per person after tip, and that's pretty much in line with what you're doing at Casey's Corner, what you're doing at I'm spacing at all my other quick service places.
A lot of the quick service. And so then you've done that, and you've been able to sit down in the air conditioning, relax for a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good use of our time and our money. I was happy about that one.
I would skip the appetizer there.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I thought that was delicious. I'd, been hearing about that pizza for a long time and was super excited to get to check it out.
yeah,
So
it was fun.
yay. My favorite of the three was Steakhouse 71.
Okay, interesting.
I really, and especially big shout out to, not on the menu, but able to be ordered from the bar area, are the PB&J,
Oh yeah,
the
those
peanut
were
butter
good.
and
Okay.
jelly chicken wings.
Yeah, we'll talk about those more when we really review.
Those are great.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to have a talk. And Sanaa was the one I was most looking forward to, and parts of it were really good. And I would change my strategy for eating there.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah,
talk about
that's
that
a
later
good,
too.
That's a good tease.
But it was good.
It's
It was
good
a
tease.
fun.
It
was a
tasty.
fun experience, and
Yes.
I love being at Animal Kingdom
Yep,
Lodge.
me too.
So, no harm, no foul.
Excellent. And so, one of the things that allows us to take these great breaks was our use of Genie Plus.
Yeah.
And, in our last episode, we had Amy and Kayla on to kind of brief us on Genie Plus. And so we had a good idea of what to expect, and we had some strategies in place.
I was skeptical though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was. I was skeptical. I'd heard some tales
Yeah.
of woe from
That's
people
true.
on the internet.
For
and-
every complimentary thing that we had heard about Genie Plus,
Yeah.
there were some folks that it didn't work for. But in our case, I will say it worked really, really well for us.
It really did.
I tried to add it up, and we hit every attraction headliner at studios, and maybe our total wait time was an hour, which in my mind,
Yeah.
that's the ultimate goal. We minimized our wait time so well that I wouldn't do the parks without Genie Plus at this point. Maybe Animal Kingdom. We didn't do Animal Kingdom, so disclaimer there.
Right. But for the parks where there are lots of things on Genie Plus,
Yeah.
it worked really well for us.
And Magic Kingdom, we did 15, 16 attractions in a day, and maybe 2 hours total wait time.
Yeah.
I have to go back and add that up, but a fraction of our day was spent waiting in line.
Right. And one thing you have to be willing to do, though, in that is also, so you make your reservation for whatever your next ride is, and then also use the tip board and look at what the wait times are and be willing to walk across the park for the shorter wait time.
Yep, absolutely.
So it was a lot of extra walking, maybe,
Yeah, I think so.
Someone who might say, I'm going to just do the park in a clockwise direction.
Yep.
So if you can hack it with all the extra steps,
For sure.
then it works really well.
But yeah, I would definitely call it a success. Mm-hmm. So that was an excellent new addition to things we've done at Disney World.
Yeah. Yep. I was really happy to have it work out so
Yeah.
well.
What were some of your other favorite new things that we hadn't done before?
I loved Ratatouille.
Me too.
Loved Ratatouille at Epcot. Oh my goodness. Not a thrill ride.
Nope.
Not even by my standards. Not a thrill ride. Definitely very family friendly ride. But just even the moment that the little rat cars pulled up to pick us up, I was totally in love. And they're just so cute. And then it's another trackless ride. The video screens add another layer to it. And sometimes you're doing video screens, and sometimes you're going through really gigantic props. And
Yeah. Yeah, it really kind of takes the Spider-Man over at Universal Islands of Adventure that I feel like they kind of pioneered that.
Yeah.
That trackless plus screens plus.
Yeah. But it worked really well. And no matter what direction you're looking, there's always something to see.
Yeah.
I remember we were under a cart or something in the
and
car.
seeing the
and
wheels
you
next
were
to you
going,
turning.
Look at the wheels turning.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. I loved that one. How about you?
Still at Epcot, and I was really looking forward to Harmonious, and it really didn't disappoint. And I still just, I loved Reflections of Earth, and it's done. And so, there's no real point.
You've grieved and moved on.
Exactly. There's no real point anymore in going, well, this isn't as good as Reflections of, what? Reflections of Earth is a black hole at this point. It's done.
It's gone.
So as much as you wish it was back, it's not. And this is a beautiful show with wonderful music and really using music and the different cultural influences on music as a way to kind of send a message of unity. And I thought that was really cool, you know. Maybe it's a song about a movie from France, but it's being done in a Spanish music style, or it's being translated into Japanese. You know, it's all the ways that the cultures overlap. Like, you know, we love this song here, but they love it in this country too, and they sing it like this, and it sounds like this. And
Yeah.
I just thought it was great. I love the pyrotechnics. I loved all the, we've talked about it before. I love color. I love lighting. I love the way those things play together. And this is just a beautiful, it's like moving artwork. It's not like there's 20 lasers and 40, pyro moments. No, it's look at this, for lack of a better word, tapestry that they've woven of sigh.
Tapestry.
But anyway, look at this canvas, this piece of art that they've laid out for you, and these are the colors, and this is the motion, and this is how it all plays together. So,
right.
I loved Harmonious. I loved it better than Enchantment.
Okay.
Enchantment was good, but I'd make an effort to go see Harmonious.
I would like to go see Harmonious again, and I would like to plan better, because I think we had fit so many extra things in Epcot that all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, Harmonious is starting. So we were just running to find a spot. And to be totally honest, I'm not a tall person. I couldn't see most of Harmonious from where we were standing. I've seen it on, online. I've watched it and I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the music, but I would have liked to have planned just a tiny bit better and found a spot where I could really fully see it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which is probably why, in my mind, Enchantment comes out ahead for this trip. Because I could see Enchantment. We did find a good spot for that.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was the first time I had seen the fireworks and the castle projections together.
Yeah.
In the past, I've either been able to see the fireworks, but the castle's been blocked by trees, or we've been under an awning so I could see the castle, but I couldn't look up because there was an umbrella in the way to see the fireworks.
Yeah,
so.
We've had that too. So, yeah, we were far back from it, but standing.
But it was really cool to get a whole, again, the wide picture, the tapestry.
To see
this is what they want to
pieces
present
together.
Yeah.
That was nice.
So.
I liked that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Let's see, what else? Anything else?
We talked about Guardians already.
I enjoyed the crepes that we found in France at the...
Oh, yeah. That was a good spot.
The name is escaping me at the moment, but it's... Anyway, it's back there by Ratatouille. You pass it as you turn left towards the fountain. Nice big portions, about $8 a crepe. Easily splittable. The Nutella one was tastier than the berry one. You have the name?
I do. It's very complex, so it's no wonder we couldn't think of it on our own. La Crêperie de Paris.
But of course.
Okay, go ahead.
The crepe place at Paris.
Yes,
That's
literally what you said in English. Okay, go ahead.
I'm still super tickled by the fact that the red berries crepe was filled with blueberries.
That was funny.
I can't get over it. That's all.
That was entertaining, but it was delicious too. So.
Yep, absolutely.
That was fun, and apparently you can find us. We're easy to spot at Epcot because we are the family who just buys all the food and then sits down in the middle of the sidewalk and causes a spectacle.
We sent more people to the crepe place and the patisserie in France because we were sitting there surrounded by our plates of food on the ground, sampling and passing them back and forth between each other. And just groups of people would flock over to us. Where did you get that? What is that you're eating? This looks delicious. What do you think? And it was like, hey, check out the podcast.
We met a lot of new people. We made some new friends.
We did, yes.
We gave people hopefully some good recommendations for food. And I'm still going to continue to, when I find a shady spot that happens to just be on the sidewalk when there's no seats available, I'm going to take it.
Do you mean a spot in the shade or a spot that's shady? Because sometimes sitting on the ground gets a little iffy.
In the shade.
Fair enough. Well, it was a wonderful trip, and you and the kids are my favorite travel partners. So it's
Aw.
super fun
You're my favorite
to be able
too.
to do things like that.
It was fun.
It was
We
fun.
had a good time.
Yeah. So to wrap things up, if you like what you've heard on this show, please hit that like button on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, or whatever platform you're listening on. Please share this episode, leave us a review, ask a question, literally anything. Just let us know you're out there and help us spread the word about this podcast. And remember, all of our episodes are available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We're always happy to connect with our listeners as well. Find us on Facebook at Goofy Getaways with Jason and Julie, on Instagram at Our Disney Opinions, or by email at jason@goofygetaways.com. Thanks again, everybody, for listening, and we'll be back soon with more of Our Disney Opinions.